About 80 miles due west of Brands Hatch, straight down the A303, is the airfield circuit of Thruxton. And that's where we are this weekend for round 2 of the Eastern Airways British F1 Sidecar Championship. As you can see, the weather's followed us, but despite the awful conditions at Brands, we had 2 cracking races to kickstart the season. Race 1 saw Tim Reeves absolutely screw up his pole position. You can see him going backwards there from the front row. Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence, meanwhile, taking advantage, driving straight through the middle with the Reuterholt brothers following them. Reeves, though, made good, recovered well, went round the outside of Druids to take the lead in the early stages of race 1. 16, the Birchells followed. Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson slotted into 3rd. This is the move. You can see the Birchells on the inside of Reeves, but Tim Reeves with his nose in front. Ben Holland and Lee Watson having an interesting first outing here at Brands. Scott Laurie and James Neve in hot pursuit of them. The number 39 just briefly as we saw Tim Reeves spin out in the diminishing conditions. Same happened. It's the second time for this crew that poor old Lee Watson has seen the Brands tarmac close up. The drying track conditions were causing the wet tyres to fall apart. That was not the case for Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence, who had played a canny game on slicks and came home to take the win. Rick in his usual posture. Race 2, and there have been all sorts of drama with the solos. A combination of oil, detergent and wet weather caused the solo races to be abandoned, the sidecars therefore saving the day. With a good crowd here and a television audience to please, they certainly did themselves proud. Standing water all over the circuit. You would have expected therefore the battle at the front to be between the World Championship contenders, and that's exactly the way it was. Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence did not have the tyre advantage this time because everyone was on wets. Mark Edwards tried to find a way through between Reuterholt and John Clark, but that was not to be. Scott Laurie too found the slippery limit and went off into the gravel, keeping it in a straight line. If it goes sideways at this point, there's only one ending, and that's over and over. But Tim Reeves, number 77, made no mistake. 25 points he needed after that very, very poor outing. The battle further down the field with Lovelock and Ben Holland was business as usual, but it was Reeves who took the win. Birchall's home in second. What a great, great win for Tim Reeves on home ground. And there it is. The Birchells, though, lead with 2 second places, 40 points. Lovelock second, Reeves third, Steinhausen did well. John Holden 8th, a terrific 4th. Played the same game as Lovelock on slick tyres in race 1. Got to mention in 14th place, the Swedish rider Reuterholt, and Aki Alto is Finnish passenger. Look at that, 14th. Chaplow 13th, despite putting his bike back together. It was in 2 bits yesterday. Well, as you can see, Ben and Tom Birchall on top of the table, and 3 of those top crews are away on World Championship duty this weekend, so that should make it easier for the others. Easier? What am I saying? This is Thruxton, and it's certainly not what the passengers think. Let's take a look at it. You'll see just how tough Thruxton can be. It's an F1 passenger's nightmare because this is the quickest circuit that they will come on to. The corners throw the passenger from the right. They really, really, really have to hang on. Going left then. Now, ahead of us is Campbell. The first of the 3 bends in the complex. Into Campbell, down to 2nd gear round here. Cobb, the left-hander. Out of Cobb, Seagrave, the right-hander, still driving, up to 3rd. Wait for the gear change. On into 4th, into 5th. Short shifting through here. Here we go through Noble. Noble, this is Goodwood, the right-hander of Goodwood. You can see the sign markers on the side of the circuit there. This goes on and on and on. Village, we're round the back, out in the country, the wide open country. This is the point at which the intermediate speed trap is before we come round the right-hander into Church. Rounding here, then the long, long climb up Woodland Hill, top gear, flat out, 6th. This is about 140 miles an hour at this point, all the way down the gearbox here to 2nd. Down, 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 hard on the brake, throwing it in. The passenger here does his best job of staying in the middle. You cannot possibly move that quickly. That is a lap 1 minute 20 seconds is 100 miles an hour around here. As you can see, Thruxton is fast, very fast, hardly any reference points, lots of sweeping bends, very, very difficult. And a lot of the crews are seeing Thruxton for the first time in a good many years. In fact, some of them for the first time ever. We've got 7 new crews entered in our championship this year. We're going to take a look at those in our Spotlight feature. 3 of them did particularly well at Brands. Carol caught up with them.
I'm here with John Holden and Andy Winkle, experienced F2 riders and 2011 TT winners. How different is the Formula 2 to the Formula 1?
Yeah, I mean, besides the speed, this is 1,000, the Formula 2 is 600. It's completely different on the steering geometry, so it's far more positive. The engine's behind you. On the Formula 2, the engine's in front of you. This is probably another 2 foot longer. It's probably another 30 mile an hour faster, but it's still a sidecar, and it's just for Andy and I just to get our heads around racing one of these rather than the F2, and hopefully we'll be all right.
You came to Brands Hatch with your eyes wide open and got a very good result with a 4th place. So what were your expectations before the meeting?
Yeah, when we'd entered, we thought, well, I wonder if we can qualify, which was the main thing, and then we did, didn't we? Qualified 17th. I thought, well, that's all right, but I wasn't really happy with that. And then the race was wet, and we had nothing to lose from 17th place, so we said, well, let's go with slicks. It looked like it might be drying out, and I should have bought a lottery ticket that day because we made the right choice, and we got a 4th, so we were made up with that.
So what are your expectations this weekend?
Qualify again. It's just one of those, because we're new to it, we can't really say, oh yes, if we do that tyre choice, we go out and follow them and we'll stick with that. And it's just one of those things, we're still feeling the feet, because really round this place, because we're going so fast, you don't know what the bike's going to do. Am I in the right position? John's there on the throttle, kind of power it on through church, and the higher up we qualify, the better. That's always the result, so it's suck it and see. So
John and Andy, what was the appeal of doing this championship?
Well, like you said at the beginning, we've won a TT, we've won British Championship on the Formula 2, so we just needed a new challenge. There's nowhere like this championship. It's right at the top where it could be, and if you talk to some of the World Championship contenders, Tim and Ben and that, and they said this is probably as competitive as doing the World Championship. So that's the appeal, to race at top level.
Another one of our new contenders that did well at Brands Hatch is Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood, both experienced passengers. Ricky used to passenger for Ben Holland. I'm just about to catch up with them now. Is this your first time at Thruxton circuit?
As a driver, yes, but I passengered Ben Holland around here, so I know how hard it is for the passengers. But as a driver, the first time here, went out this morning in practice and it felt really good, you know, so I know what to put the passenger through. But no, it's very good.
Okay. And Ryan, you've experienced F1 driving. How are you finding it with Ricky this season?
Ricky's a really smooth driver, actually. He's actually a lot better driver than his brother Wayne, who also was on the back with as well. I mean, I'm probably on the back with probably 10 or 12 people now, and Ricky's up there with one of the top 3, so he's coming along really quickly, and as a driver, he certainly is really smooth. He's making my life a hell of a lot easier on the back around a track like this.
And you're actually riding a Windle, aren't you, compared to some of the other teams that you're racing LCRs? Is there much difference between the Windle outfit and the LCR?
It's a lot heavier as a bike, and the chassis is a lot higher up as well, which makes it that I guess it's slightly worse in geometry, but yeah, in terms of a bike, it is just as good as the LCRs, really.
And what are your expectations for the season?
I think genuinely for me is just to try and get in the points all the time. If I can finish top 15, I think me and Ryan be really happy, and if anything comes along the way that we're in the top 10, or even hopefully if we can get any further than that, great. But at the moment, just top 15, getting some points, that's our main aim.
One of our crews who also did well at Brands Hatch is one of our foreign contenders who are with us for the whole season. I'm here with Johann Reuterholt and Alto from Sweden and Finland. What was your motivation to do this championship?
Seen it on television previous years, and we'd been doing other championships, a few rounds here and then, and this looks strong and having a good race over here, so that's really what about it.
And what's it like riding with Johann?
Well, we get along well, and he's one of my best friends, so nothing bad over there, but he's a nice guy and usually quite fast as well, so going well.
And how did you find the first round at Brands Hatch?
Slippery, really. First time coming to the circuit, and we did get one session in the dry, so that made us learn the track a bit. But both races were really slippery conditions, and it's not my strongest side, though.
Where do you see yourself at the end of the season?
Don't know, really. It's a strong competition. We will do our best. Hopefully end up top 10 or something.
It's time now for qualifying, and boy, do they need those extra miles under their belts. With just 20 minutes of free practice this morning, it's vital they get as much of Thruxton in their heads as possible. When it comes to race time, they're going to need to know their way around the circuit. It's going to be very, very interesting. Given that several of the crews had not even seen Thruxton, that's what makes it interesting. The conditions, of course, added to that. The speed of the circuit, the sheer speed at which the bends approach, everything was against these guys, and final adjustment to settings, absolutely crucial. It was heartwarming to see the build-based BMW make it out onto the track, but Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence were looking good. They were on home ground. They had local fans here, and they were out to impress. Ben Holland and Lee Watson's pit crew had everything to smile about because their boys were in provisional pole position, but the build-based BMW finally took to the track and acquitted itself very, very well after what was a disappointing opening debut at Brands Hatch. Barry James and Callum Lawson were front runners, as indeed were Ben Holland and Lee Watson. Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence, though, made absolutely no mistake to claim pole position at a very wet Thruxton. A great result for them. Roger Lovelock, Rick Lawrence, we must stop meeting like this, boys. I mean, it's getting to be a habit, isn't it? A win at Brands and now pole position here at Thruxton. What a way to start round two.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. It's our local track. We've just come from just up the road, and yeah, pole position. What more can you ask for? Pretty close though, and Ben's right there within a couple hundredths of a second. So we got to be on our toes, definitely in the race, no doubt about it.
And it is fair to say, Rick, that the qualifying conditions might not be representative of the race itself because the sun's out already.
Yeah, I think it'll be dry later on. If it stays on like this, it'll be completely different. I mean, our lap times around here in a dry are 8 seconds a lap faster than we've just done in the wet. So that's not, you know, it's going to be a totally different ball game. And yeah, young Ben next door, we came down here last year and he pushed us round here. So it's going to be a tight race either way. But we'll just take it, see what goes.
With Reeves, Birchall and Steinhausen away on world duty, these boys might well have a good crack at it. Lovelock and Holland front row, Peach, Barry James, Scott Laurie, Johann Reuterholt, impressive there. John Clark, look at Mark Edwards, he's there on row 4, terrific. Stevens, Charlwood, they've done well, as indeed as young Steve Kershaw. The BMW is there on row 6, great stuff. Craig Chaplow and Jason Crow from the Isle of Man, nephew of Nick, heading up row 7, terrific. Then Ian Drown. Horsepole is there, Robinson and Guy bringing up the rear. Well, things are just getting better and better here at Thruxton. The sun's coming out, so with a bit of luck, we're going to have a dry race. The next time you see me will be on the grid for race 1. We're going to take a short break, so don't go away, whatever you do. Welcome back to the grid for race 1. It's not quite summer weather or t-shirt weather, but it's certainly a lot better. What that does mean is that the track surface is completely dry. Everyone is going to be on slick tyres, make no mistake about it. That could completely upset things. But Andy Peach and Charlie Richards here on row 2. Barry James and Callum Lawson, what a start to the season they've had. Moving through to the front row, our pole position couple, Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence. And as for Ben Holland and Lee Watson, we saw at Brands what they can do from the back of the grid. What do you think they can do from the front? Well, look at it, the sun. The circuit is dry, it's very, very grippy, probably one of the most abrasive pieces of tarmac in the whole of the F1 British Sidecar Championship calendar. A full grid, then wait for the lights. Wait for the lights. The tension at this point in the race will be unbelievable, but what a cracking start from the pole position. Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence. Scott Laurie and James Neves slotted from the second row straight through there. Mark Edwards had a good start as well. He qualified strongly, but out at the front, Scott Laurie and Neve in second. Roger Lovelock, Rick Lawrence lead. Then Ben Holland and Lee Watson. These three making a breakaway. I can see Mark Edwards there lying in about 5th, the distinctive green Kawasaki outfit. Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson there in 4th, the blue and white. New colours for them, brand new leathers as well for that pairing. But these three now, they're away with it. The rippling leathers of Rick Lawrence in the sidecar of the leading number 49 outfit. Away they go, they're out in the country. Carol, you've been to Thruxton, you know how hard this is. It's going to be a ding-dong battle between these three. Nothing between the speed of the bikes either.
No, it looks like they're all competitive on the speed there, aren't they? And this circuit is particularly challenging for passengers. It's very fast, the changes are really quick, and yeah, this complex as well is hard on them as well.
I'm wondering what happened to Barry James and Callum Lawson. They appeared to go backwards from the second row. They had a cracking start, but then got swallowed up by Andy and Charlie Richardson. This is the battle at the front, though. Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence looking back from the camera on the front of that outfit. You can see Rick hanging out over the side, similarly right behind him. A bit of a seesaw action there from Scott Lorry as they ran wide, but the tyres just gripping, and already they're making the most of their pole position start. The speed round here, John Clark said to me before qualifying, it's so fast round here, parts of his anatomy were twitching like a rabbit, and I don't mean his nose.
Yes, it's scary fast around here for both drivers and passengers.
Carol, it's fair to say already 3 or 4 passengers have cried enough, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. They've actually put their hands up and said, hey, listen, I might come out here, and if I come out, I'm no good to you.
Yep, there has to be a time when common sense prevails, and you don't want to be losing passengers likely. You know, you don't want to put your driver in danger either.
Well, this pairing at the front, you know, they're self-confessed veterans. They've been at it a while, but unbelievably fit. Now, let's just watch this through here. This is the chicane. You can see how quickly Ben Holland is coming. He's going the long way round. Has he gone? He's got second from Scott Lorry. Dives in, the sidecar wheel pops up. But Lee Watson did a brilliant job there, but the wheel popping up allowed Scott Lorry to cut back through on the inside. So already we've got a fantastic scrap for second place at the front of the race. And again, I've said it so many times before, these two are going to trip each other up. Meanwhile, away goes Lovelock.
Yep, Lovelock's off on his own there, isn't he? And definitely you can see the track knowledge working from him. And like as you said, it's the Lorry and Holland tripping each other up.
Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett on the distinctive green Kawasaki. This will be a best ever result for them if they can hang on to 4th. They're right behind this trio and they're closing just a little bit. Another good run is being had by Johann Reuterholt, the Swede, with Aki Alto, his Finnish passenger. This man is a paraplegic, paralyzed from the waist up. You'll get him, he's closing, but this is the 3, the battle at the front. Lovelock Lawrence, number 49. Then it's Lorry and Neve, number 72. Then it's the number 60, yellow and black outfit of Ben Holland and Lee Watson. All 3 outfits Suzuki powered. Nothing between them, they're neck and neck. Now watch Scott Lorry. He's on the inside. He's going to outbrake him. He's taken the lead. Scott Lorry and James Neve, a little bit of smoke. Has he overcooked it? No, he's made it stick. Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence. That was good track craft there, Carol. He just held on to it.
Yeah, I think he picked that up from the lap before, didn't he? And I think that's just going to give Ben Holland a little bit of advantage there because they've all kind of slowed each other up. So I think this could be anyone for first place in this race. Fantastic battle shaping up.
This is the battle for the lead. Ben Holland and Lee Watson taking a look at the chicane again on the back of Lovelock and Lawrence. Oh, Roger Lovelock was so quick there. He let the brakes off and drove hard at the midpoint of that chicane because he knew very well that Ben Holland was breathing down his neck. Meanwhile, it's all turned now because it's Lorry and Neve out in front. The other 2, second and third, are causing each other problems, and Scott Lorry looking like he's on for 25 points here, but the commentator's curse could well prevail. It's happened before, it might happen again. We've got a race at the front though. It's a 9-wheeler and close action indeed here at Thruxton. All to play for. Oh, look at Ben Holland. Oh, Carol, I'm breathless. This is the sprint, the drag up the hill. Who's going to get it?
God knows, it could be 3 aggressive going into this, doesn't it? It's like, oh, it's just like Ben's going to get it. Ben, come on. Oh, great move.
Wonderful sliding pass there. Ben Holland and Lee Watson, what a terrific move. As I said, 1 minute 20 round here is 100-mile-an-hour lap. They're certainly doing that.
They are indeed, aren't they? And you could just see how close they were behind, couldn't you, on that camera on the back of Ben's bike there.
Absolutely nothing in it. Watch the way the passengers move. It's symmetry here. Lying down with their feet just poking out of the left-hand side. Now they're over the back. Then watch that little foot pop out there. It goes again out to the left-hand side. Mark Edwards, Lee Barrett still there. Right behind them, it's the Barry James, Callum Lawson. Then it's Johann Reuterholt, Aki Alto, the grey and orange outfit in 6th place. So we've got a battle of 3 at the front and a battle of 3 for 4th, 5th and 6th. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood, number 100, out of the running. They're in pit lane. The gloves thrown into the sidecar with disgust.
Yep, you can see the disappointment. That looked like a mechanical failure there.
We have a 1:19.6 from Roger Lovelock, the fastest lap so far in this race. That means Lovelock is on a charge. We're with him now, and he's going for 2nd place. Is he going to make it stick? Up the inside of Scott Lorry, yes he is. Reclaims 2nd place. Roger Lovelock, Rick Lawrence. The sidecar wheel of Ben Holland just pawing the air there as he straight-lined it through the chicane. Now, this is Suzuki horsepower versus Suzuki horsepower. Lovelock wants it. Holland has got it. Scott Lorry would dearly love to be looking at it, and he's there in 3rd. It's a terrific, terrific race, and if this is an example of what we're going to get all season, it's going to be a cracker.
It's going to be brilliant, isn't it? I mean, this is fantastic, isn't it? I mean, there's just nothing in this, is there? It could be any one of them, couldn't there?
They've opened up a huge gap on 4th place. Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett still there in 4th. That battle between them, Barry James, Callum Lawson and Reuterholt, very much alive. You can see them in the background looking back across the circuit there. And now up the inside again, neck and neck, up into a lead. It's nip and tuck, chop and change. Lovelock and Lawrence are in front. Now, knowing their wily old brains, they're not going to let it slip this time. They're going to ride the tight line all the way and close the door where possible.
Yeah, but both of these have got track knowledge, aren't they? Ben and Roger are both local guys. They both know where they're going. Actually, it looks like Laurie's dropped back there, isn't it? So I wonder if he's got a problem. Barry, maybe you did curse him after all.
Maybe I did. Scott Lorry and James Nee not even in shot now. They're missing. They've gone out of the action. So if they're out of the running, that would promote Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett to a podium place. There's that fastest lap. 1/1000th of a second over the time I gave you last time. So 6:05. Fantastic. There's the battle then. Oh, look, there's been a coming together there. The sidecar wheel arch flapping. This could be tricky. This could entail a black flag. Hopefully not. Barry James then in 3rd place. Johann Reuterholt and Aki Alto on the grey and orange outfit. Number 27 are there in 4th. Then in 5th, the number 6, Kawasaki, the man who fought so hard with that bike to get it sorted in 2011, and it's all come good. Another cracking race, Carol, for that position.
Yeah, this is another 3-way battle, isn't it? And I think actually they're going to be all right with that bike, because you see the wheel arch is still covered, so it's not going to cause any problems to the passenger there, so it should be all right. I hope he keeps going, I really do.
Unless it hooks on your backside, then that might be...
Well, it might get a bit hot if you really on the tyre.
Yeah, there you go, the last lap flag then. So 1 lap of this stunning race remaining. This the battle between Reuterholt and Barry James. Mark Edwards is going to have to settle for 5th place, I think. Barry James, number 3 on the blue outfit, is in a 3rd place position, but he's missed a gear. I reckon he missed a gear. He was very slow getting it along the straight there. Looked to me like it. Reuterholt went through, so we have the Swede in a podium position at the moment. Johann Reuterholt in his debut UK season in F1. A new name to us. Oh, Barry James is through. So it's fantastic stuff. He doesn't give an inch, the Swede. James has run wide. Where's Mark Edwards going to go? He's on the outside. It's breathtaking stuff. Talk us through these last few seconds. Come on.
I'm not sure if I can. My heart's in my mouth watching this. I've got it. It's anybody's guess, isn't it? Coming up to that final campaign is just going to be where he's going to get it, isn't he? Roger Lovelock in the lead there, still way out ahead of everyone else.
Checkered flag and a race win here. 2nd place over the line then. Oh, they've lapped the tail enders, 1st and 2nd. This is the battle. Mark Edwards has got it. Mark Edwards ducks ahead. He's got a podium place. We didn't see where that happened. We did not see where that happened. But it must have been at the chicane. It must have come down. There's your race winner, number 49, Suzuki LCR. Roger Lovelock, Rick Lawrence. 2nd place, brilliant Suzuki. The Kawasaki of Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett, Suzuki, all the way down to 8th place. Gary Horsepole and Rob Biggs on the first of the Hondas. Terrific stuff, 8th place for them. Oh, absolutely breathless here in the commentary box. Look at that, Kyle Young and Steve Mullen, again from Northern Ireland. They picked up points, but what a lot of retirements. Roger Lovelock, Rick Lawrence, we talked after qualifying. We said you might play while the Cats were away. Well, you certainly played in that one.
Well, we weren't playing about, I tell you, because I mean we were on the gas all the time. Yeah, we got the whole shot and you know, started pulling away. Well, I thought we were anyway, because you know, we were on quite a good pace. But and then was it Scott came past us first, wasn't it? Yeah, Scott came past us, and I thought, blimey. You know, and you know, as our local track, I thought I better pull my finger out here. And then Ben came past us, and I thought, oh, crying out loud. But for some reason, we were sticking with them all around the, you know, the twisty bits and all that. But we were sort of being left out, dragged down the back straight. So I thought, stick with them, and we did, and we got past them, and yeah, we took the checkered flag again. Brilliant.
Ben Holland, Lee Watson. Ben, you weren't to know, but in my grid link, I said you could see what he did from the back of the grid. What can he do from the front? And you certainly delivered.
Yeah, it was an entertaining race for sure. We had a bit of a poor start, and yeah, we dropped back to third, I think, and yeah, it led for a good battle with Scott and Roger. It was yeah, we were swapping about all over the place, and yeah, just went for it and done what we could, really.
Lee, everybody's saying how tough it is for passengers, and at that sort of speed, when it's dry like that, I guess that's absolutely true.
Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I was sort of obviously wet this morning, it was easier, and I think having been here before was a bit of an advantage because we came here at the end of last year. But it was, yeah, it was tough. 14 laps tomorrow is going to be really tough because it's just so fast and there's nowhere to rest. So, but yeah, happy. Mark Edwards, Lee Barrett. Mark, your first podium in an Eastern Airways F1 Championship race. How does it feel?
Yeah, brilliant. It was a brilliant race. I'd just like to thank everybody who stuck with me through all the tough times last year. Most of the people in the paddock know we had a lot of trouble with bits and pieces, but we're getting it dialed in now. And just yeah, thanks to Lee's on board. We got a really good team. Rob Cameron with 151s, born with Kawasaki, and me girlfriend, my wife, and everybody. It's a big family concern, and it's just brilliant. Thanks to everyone.
Lee, a new pairing. You teamed up with this guy, and I mean, yeah. That's the quickest you've gone for a while, isn't it?
It is for a while, yeah. Yep. First time here as well, so opened my eyes a little bit to the speed around the back there, but no, it was good race, and like I said, thanks to everybody for helping out and getting us here.
Got it here in the track at Thruxton, Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence. Well, that was absolutely breathtaking stuff, both on the track and I can tell you, in the commentary box. We're going to take a short break now, let everybody recharge their batteries for what we hope will be an equally stunning Race 2. Join us again after the break. Back to the grid for Race 2 here at Thruxton. I can tell you, it's bitterly cold in the wind. Cloud and sun, the track's dry, starting right from the bat because they had such a disastrous first race. People like Andy Peach, Scott Laurie, wait for them to come through. But look at this, on row 2, Mark Edwards on the Kawasaki was right up there, absolutely fantastic, got a podium position, had a ding-dong battle with our Scandinavian crew, Johann Reuterholt, Aki Alti. What a fantastic race they had. Moving through though to the front row, Roger Lovelock over there in pole position is now 21 points clear in the championship, having won 2 races. Ben Holland, Lee Watson, they are desperate to get a win here. They're going to give it their best shot. 14 laps here at Thruxton. This is going to be another cracker. Well, I talked about the likes of Scott Laurie and Andy Peach being at the back of the grid. They both suffered gearbox problems with different degrees of intensity. Andy Peach has had to change an engine between the 2 races. Scott Laurie's retirement was caused by his gear linkage dropping off. It's as simple as that. But they're on the back of the grid, so it's going to be interesting to see how those guys charge through. You can see there the number 4 of Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, alongside the number 74 BMW of Ben Bygrave and Paul Napton. Watch the lights go. Number 49 from pole position, Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence getting the drop on Ben Holland, number 60. Aki Alto in the chair with his Swedish driver Johann Reuterholt trailing behind Mark Edwards. That should top 4 as they go into the complex for the first time. Lovelock leads 21 points, his championship lead at this moment in time. Again up into 3rd place goes Mark Edwards, threatening to repeat his performance or maybe even go one better. He's riding the wheel tracks now, Ben Holland and Lee Watson, but the flying Swede Reuterholt is right with him. Barry James and Callum Lawson are in there too. Again, those leathers flapping. It's almost, Carol, as though Rick Lawrence wears leathers on purpose that are too big.
Oh yeah, no, he does. He's always said that he likes to have like movement in it, and you know, you think they're flapping around like that, but you do need to have some sort of stretch in the backs. When you bend over, they become tighter. But yeah, down here, I reckon that's going to make that hard work for him, because that wind gets down the back of his neck. That's going to act like resistance. He knows he might go off like a balloon.
Look at Scott Lorry. Sorry, yeah, that was lovely. Scott Lorry is up there. Oh, dropping backwards. Mark Edwards. Scott Lorry charging through at the chicane. 3 outfits in one hit and a wave of the hand from Lee Barrett. What's that all about?
That's just him counteracting his balance. As he's going over, the bike's thrown him, so he's putting his arm up in the air as just part of his balancing act there.
Well, I thought he was getting angry with the other outfits, but there was nothing he had to be angry about. They side through on the inside, but Ben Holland and Lee Watson, the outfit we're looking back from at Scott Lorry.
Yeah, Scott's done a fantastic job there, because that's almost from the back of the grid, isn't it?
And he's passed. He's by. Now look at James Neave. He's a big lad. He tucks his huge frame around in the sidecar, makes himself very small when he has to. Oh, there. Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett out. What a shame for them. Podium in race 1, a retirement hand in the air in the sunshine in race 2. Never mind. That underlines the potential of that Kawasaki. That ain't the last you've seen of that. Johann Reuterholt and Aki Alto right there on the back end now of Ben Holland and Lee Watson. He pushes hard, this Scandinavian. There is no doubt about that. We're in for some entertainment with him, I can tell you, in 2012. Then it's Barry James, Callum Lawson. But this is a terrific scrap. Meanwhile, at the front, Roger Lovelock easing away, easing away, easing away. Scott Lorry going with him. A much-deserved 2nd place for Scott Lorry if he can pull it off. The Swede is in 4th. Ben Holland, Lee Watson there. The yellow and black outfit in 3rd. So it's Suzuki, 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 Suzuki at the moment. I tell you what, Scott Lorry is quick. He's really, really quick, Carol.
Yeah, he's definitely on a mission there, isn't he? He's going to want this podium place, isn't he? And I think Reuterholt, like you say, he's got the bit between his teeth, and he's not going to give up on Ben at all, is he? This is shaping up to be another excellent race.
And the weather's good as well. Like I said, on the grid, it's so blooming cold, but I bet those passengers aren't cold. They're working overtime here, and this is the very difficult part of the complex. Now the right-hander, before they head way, way out down towards Noble. The next one will be a left. Here we go, turning left. Oh dear, Steve Kershaw has lost his passenger. Where's Rob Wilson? That looks like, no, it's not the chicane. It was out in the back somewhere. Well, there he is, mercifully. I mean, you don't want to be falling out there. That's one of the quickest parts of the circuit.
Yeah, you don't want to be falling out anywhere, but you definitely want to be falling out where it's quick.
119.112, sorry Carol, 119.112, that is quicker than the fastest lap set in race 1, and that's been set now by Scott Lorry and James Neave, the number 72. You're quite right, they're on a mission. Are they going to make it stick here? This is where he does his meteoric passing, closes on the back. It's a canny ride by Lovelock. He kept the door closed.
Yeah, that's where his circuit knowledge is actually doing him favours there, isn't it? I say Lorry made it stick last time round, not this time round there.
And now the scrap for 3rd. This is Ben Holland. Now up into 3rd goes Johann Reuterholt. So we've got a podium position here for the Scandinavian pairing. Ben Holland and Lee Watson relegated to 4th. The battle for 1st and 2nd well ahead of them. Again, the foot comes out from Lee. You can see that foot now. The right-hander. Ben Holland having a look at the inside, but again, there's terrific track craft being exhibited by some of these crews. Goodness me. Listen, I'm not a road racing sidecar passenger. How scary is it when the wheels are foot in the air?
So you don't always notice it, to be quite honest, sometimes. I mean, as long as it doesn't tip up too far, you don't want to go on your lid, but you just don't notice it. And sometimes they do that because they're floating over the curb, so...
Well, we're down in the West Country. You know, in Cornwall, they say up tip. They don't say tip up, they say up tip in the West Country. Oh, there is another one out of it. That's Stephen Mullen, Kyle Young's passenger. So they score points in race 1, but the Northern Irish pair out of it for this one. Never mind, everybody's okay. That's the important thing. Oh, a very ragged way through. That's how it happened. Over the cobbled stuff. Look at the rumble strips, the corrugations there. It's enough to shake your teeth out.
Yeah, that is definitely flown him out there, isn't it? I mean, that's quite a hard passenger through there because you don't always have time to move over. Some people overwork it. You're best just sat in the middle then.
Well, you have to take it on the chin, but mercifully, as I say, everybody up and well. That's the main thing. Not the fastest part of the circuit. It's not exactly where Rob Wilson fell out. You wouldn't want to be falling out round the back there because it is quick. Still, back to business at the sharp end. We're looking at a possible 50 points. Let me work that out. He will lead the championship if he holds this by 46 points. That's a retirement. Ian Guy and Nick Webb coming in. Nick Webb. Sorry, mate, you're killing me out there.
Yeah, like
that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really challenging circuit, and it takes a lot of courage to say you can't do it. And like I said earlier, it's safety, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Greg Lambert ahead of him, the number 74 BMW, Ben Bygrave and Paul Napton. So heartwarming to see it on track. The Park Lane BMW boys, everybody from Bill Base has worked their socks off to get it to this level, and it's a great ride for them. It's going to be points then for the BMW as we head out into the country. Fantastic action here. You better make it a very quick cup of tea because that break is coming up. Don't go away. Back to what is a terrific scrap in race 2 here at Thruxton. The crowd absolutely loving the F1 Sidecar spectacle. The battle for second place, Scott Lorry, Johann Reuterholt and Ben Holland. Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence away in the distance. You can see them now already into the complex. Now, this is going to be nothing short of amazing if number 27, Reuterholt, can get his Suzuki LCR on the podium, but he's been relegated already. Ben Holland must have been listening to me, and he's got third place. Ahead of him in the runner-up spot at the moment, it's Scott Lorry, who did an absolutely incredible job, as Carol McBride said earlier, to come from the back of the grid to the front of the race. We're looking backwards at the fourth place man, Johann Reuterholt, but he doesn't want to settle for fourth. He's not a man who takes defeat easily, and we've seen how hard he can ride.
Yeah, I mean, he's really competitive, isn't he? And so he was disappointed with that outing at Brands in the first race, wasn't he? And he's certainly going to want this podium now, isn't he, after missing out earlier today?
Well, it's so close he can smell it. He can see the second place ahead of him. His brother Peter is on the pit wall with Scandinavian for "you're in fourth place, mate." I'm not sure what it says in Scandinavian, but that is what the board says. And now making a move on Scott Lorry, Ben Holland and Lee Watson. Are they going to out-drag him? We've seen Scott Lorry here before at the chicane. Is he going to have a go? No, but Reuterholt was sniffing. Reuterholt was having a look. James Neve having a look over his right shoulder, throwing his body back. And on the outside, the long way round, Reuterholt has got him. Up to third place goes Johann Reuterholt and Aki Alto. So the Scandinavian duo are in that podium place, Carol. Scott Lorry must have a problem. He's dropping back dramatically.
Yeah, he's definitely slowing there. He's got gearbox problems again, isn't it? I mean, he's not actually broken down, but he's definitely getting slower and slower, isn't he? Just hope he can get that going to get some finishes and get points.
Well, the yellow and black outfit, Ben Holland and Lee Watson are on for 20 now. Oh dear, Craig Chaplow, another retirement for him. Well, if there's any luck at all, it's bad luck for this crew. The number 73 pairing, they worked so hard on preparing an immaculate bike. Chaplow and Jason Crow wearing Darrell Tritton's leathers out of the running. Look at this battle then. This is for second place. Ben Holland and Lee Watson. And right behind them, Johann Reuterholt. He's going to go the long way round up Woodham Hill. It's all going to come down to the braking zone. But I tell you, Ben Holland's good on the brakes here. But goodness me, the Swede had a look. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. Look at the way he's riding. Sidecar wheel, a foot in the air on the exit from that. Boy, he's a tough cookie.
I mean, they are so close on that, aren't they? I mean, he really wants to, but actually it looks like Ben's dragged away a bit, doesn't it?
Well, with the wheel a bit in the air, he would have had to have shut off. There it is again, look. Look, how high do you want it? He's just incredible. He's fearless. This man injured himself in 1994 as a passenger, was paralysed as a result, has had a 6-year layoff, came back in 2000, and this is the result. He is absolutely incredible. There's no other word. Liam Abbott, number 91, and Justin Sharp about to be lapped.
Liam Abbott, one of our stars of the future, son of Steve Abbott, 2002 world champion. They're about to be relegated. There we go. Ben Holland and Lee Watt. I tell you what, they're quick in a straight line, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, aren't they? He wasn't actually dragging past him there, was he?
Both outfits pass, though. Liam Abbott, Justin Sharp then dropping away now. Reuterholt and Alto go through at the chicane again. This wild man from Scandinavia. He is just fantastically entertaining. On the last lap then, one lap of this fearsome Thruxton circuit to do. Carol, what a race we've had, and we're only 4 races into a new season.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? I mean, considering, like, you know, we haven't got any world champions here today, but the racing is, you know, excellent, isn't it? The standard of these drivers is amazing all the way down the field, isn't it? These guys are really giving us a good show, aren't they?
They certainly are. And we're almost neglecting our man who's out in the front. Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence will move into a 46-point championship lead. Now, riding the way they're riding, that's going to be very difficult to overhaul if people like the Birchells and people like Tim Reeves continue to stay away. And, of course, the next round is Snetterton, which clashes with the TT. So they've every chance of increasing that lead still further.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I mean, you know, in some ways that's good, isn't it? It gives everybody an equal chance as well, isn't it? So, yeah.
Well, look at this. Two Wheels TV on the side of Lovelock's outfit. How good do you want it? What an impeccable weekend these boys have had. From down the road in Marlborough, Roger Lovelock, local ground for him, local supporters here. A flawless weekend. The checkered flag awaits, 50 points to the good and a double win. Well, I just wonder, what can you say to them in interview? Runners up then, Holland. On the podium, Reuterholt. These the lapped riders coming through, looking for 4th place. Scott Lorry and James Neve have limped home to 4th, but clearly, Carol, all was not well.
Yeah, I wonder if it was stuck in gear.
Could be stuck in gear. Second handstand of the weekend for Rick Lawrence. And what a great result. Well, if you didn't like that at home, then nothing floats your boat, I can tell you. That was terrific stuff. Lovelock, Holland, Reuterholt, Lorry. 5th for Barry James, consistent. John Clark, good 6th. And the BMW, 7th place and 9 points. Terrific stuff. Lots of DNFs. Poor Craig Chaplow, Jason Crow. Young and Mullin, when you saw him fall out. It's a tough world here at Thruxton. Johann Reuterholt, Aki Alto, a fantastic race again for the second race here at Thruxton. Second place at one point, but you're on the podium. Is this the first tinware you've won in the UK?
Yeah, it is. I've never been on a podium in UK before.
And tell us about the race. I mean, you were there right for... When Scott Lorry came past, unbelievably, but then you clawed him back.
Yeah, he made a great start. He must have done, because he was way back on the grid, I think. But he also told me he should, so I was expecting him in. We just did a good start, decent, and tried to stick with them from the beginning. That's what all we needed, to see if they were doing their times. We just have to stick in there.
Aki, from a passenger's point of view, how did you find the circuit at Thruxton? Fast and hard?
Fast, really fast, and hard work, but not too hard. I could hang on. I didn't have a problem with that anymore. So, but good fun track, nice, smooth. I liked it.
Ben Holland, Lee Watson, a terrific weekend for you here at Thruxton. Double podium, double second place. You're right up there, boys. How does it feel?
It feels pretty good, actually. It's nice to come and get a couple of podium results and repay the team back with all their hard work, and yeah, just a couple of good results for us, a bit of confidence, and place ourselves well in the championship, I think.
I spoke to you both over the closed season, and it's always tough. You don't even know if you're going to make the grid, because of finance and everything else, but you're certainly pleased to be here and doing well.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and obviously, you know, getting good results really sort of helps us out in terms of prize money and things, and we were really disappointed with last weekend, you know, to come away with not as many points and perhaps as much prize money as we hoped for, and the damage to the bike and things. We were a bit disappointed, but I mean, to be honest, having come here last year and gone, well, this was going to be, you know, the real target to get our season started, and all of our preparation really, or all of my preparation certainly fitness-wise, has been to come here. Going upside down last weekend put a bit of a dent in that.
Roger Lovelock, Rick Lawrence, I've been doing the sums. You now have 86 points or thereabouts in 2 race meetings. Terrific.
That'll do me, yeah, too right. It's a bit catch up for the others, but no, I mean, yeah, just take advantage of it. As simple as that. You know, Tim's not here, Ben's not here. But yeah, mind you, I think they would have had a run for their money down here this weekend, most definitely, you know. So we're all on the pace down here, so yeah, we're going to take advantage of it, definitely.
I was about to say that, Rick. The standard this year is high.
There's only about 6 outfits here on their day that can match us and probably beat us. They believe they can beat us, we believe we can beat them. We sit there and look at it. There's at least 6 crews here that can be on the same pace and make an awesome race of it. You know, we've done it this weekend. We've had some fantastic help this weekend from our pit crew and what have you. Some great sponsors are coming on board now. Not sure I'm going to get to mention them all, but there's David Laxton, there's 2 Wheels TV, there's Toys for the Garden, there's CarQuest from Newbury. They're coming on. They're friends of ours to start with, and you know they're putting money in, which is just awesome for me and Roger, because the last couple of years it's all been out of Roger, and now it's good. So yeah, we're happy.
Well, to echo Roger Lovelock's words, I don't think Birchall and Reeves and Co can walk straight back in and pick it up. Look at that, 26 points the lead over Holland, but the important thing is Birchall's down there on 40. Barry James consistently is up there. Steinhausen and Clues, 8th place for them. Mark Edwards, good to see him get on the podium with the Kawasaki. Everybody else has got a bit of work to do. Next round though, Snetterton. Anything can happen there, of course, and it could all change. Thruxton was tough on bikes and blokes. Well, it's getting late in the day here at Thruxton. You can see the long shadows. The paddock's being dismantled as I speak, but we have had 2 utterly fantastic races for round 2. The next round is at Snetterton, so you've got to see that. This is a must-not-miss job, I can tell you, this F1 sidecars. The mechanics are getting younger and younger and younger. Don't miss round 3, whatever you do. But from Thruxton, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.